Armageddon time is coming soon. We're gonna turn into dust. There's one last time. No one can judge me because you suck. Woe's me. Oh, the song of humanity. Woe's me. All right. That, of course, is the Hangman song. It's actually one of the theme songs from the movie The Dawn of the Dead back in 2004. But if you want to look it up, the Hangman song, Meridian Studio Ensemble. It's about the Hangman song. It's about the end of the world. It's about all the stuff that people keep hedging on. You know, humans. They love to hedge on the end of the world. It's all in the Bible. They're trying to fulfill their book, right? Isn't that what it's all about? Oh, point to the Bible. Look at Revelations. Point to the Bible. Oh, the Bible, the Bible. You made Armageddon's happen for so many people. You think the Ukraine is those people there aren't experiencing their own personal Armageddon? Armageddon doesn't necessarily mean it's the whole world, does it? It just means the unbelievable war. And the first place where Armageddon was fought is in the Middle East, out in the desert, and it's actually in the desert, an Iraqi desert called Armageddon, named after it. And look where we are, the Ukraine. I'll tell you about the Ukraine. I'll also tell you about Arab nations. You know, one of my favorite games to play, even though I haven't played in a while, is a game of Risk, right? And I always win against people because I had this awesome strategy. My strategy was to go to Australia and mass my forces in New Zealand so nobody could come near me. And I'd have like hundreds of soldiers, hundreds literally in New Zealand, and then they just keep massing, massing, massing until all these other guys were fighting each other out. And they're all down to one or two per area, and bang, I'd come out with blazing force. That's how you do it. So Vladimir Putin's not fighting a war with the Ukraine. He's fighting a war with the United States. He's fighting a war with NATO, but NATO is the United States. You know, I mean, yeah, it's many countries, but it's still the United States. You know, this is his move against NATO. Me personally, I was always taught to think like your adversary. You're not ever going to understand them unless you think like them. If you think like them, then you can certainly know where they're coming from, even predict their next move. So I think on this show here, if you guys have been paying attention, I know a lot of you have because you check in with me and send me messages and emails and stuff saying that, you know, telling me that I'm right, 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 right all along, you know, and it's not even about being right or wrong. I'll tell you something. It's about paying attention, and just like the stock market, just like any of these things, the trends, where things go, you pay attention. So if I'm going to think like Putin, I'm going to see how right now the United States has no leadership. Talk about beyond weak. These are the same people that went after a sitting president and basically destroyed him with rhetoric. You know, uh, you know, granted, Trump is a big idiot, but he didn't deserve what they did to him, you know, and it was wrong what they did because what they were fighting was our own country, our own people. And again, the Democrats failed to see that. They failed to see that people need representation no matter who they pray to, no matter what politics is in their blood, they still need the same representation, right? So we don't have that now. We have just a whole slew of cutthroats, no strength in our government and our military. If it wasn't for Trump building the military up, we would have a lot of problems there. If you still had the Obama military when he left, oh my God, it was in complete disarray. You know, so but right now, yeah, Putin played the nuke card right in the beginning. It's the very first thing he said, you know, back off or I'll nuke you, you know. Usually when people say that, they don't mean it. Do I think he means it? I think that he understands Joe Biden and Other leaders in Europe, I think that he understands that they are paranoid, scared, afraid of him. Now, let me tell you about bullies. Bullies do the same thing. They got the threat. They threaten you. And until you stop them, they're going to keep doing it. They're going to keep taking stuff from you. They're going to keep making your life a living hell. You have to stop them from doing it. How do you stop Putin? We don't have to get involved in the war to stop Putin. We don't have to send nukes. And by the way, the time to act was a long time ago when he was amassing forces on the border, lying his face off like he does. And on all these people, they just made me. I would watch the news and laugh because they're like, "Well, we're not sure if he's telling the truth or not. We're not sure. We don't know. We're not sure." And then we hope he's telling the truth. We think he's telling the truth. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you kidding me? And this is the politicians that run our country. This is the media out there. Well, we don't know. Well, this is what Putin said. Oh, there's a ceasefire. Oh, but they just blew up a bunch of apartment buildings. That's the one, the bully who's punching you in the face saying, I'm not hitting you. I'm not hitting you. Your face is hitting my hand. That's what that is. So to stop the guy, you got to cut his balls off. And let me tell you about little men, because he's little, and it's always these guys. Hitler, another shorty who caused all kinds of problems. Napoleon, it's called the freaking Napoleon. Let me read this to you. Short man syndrome is real. Scientists confirm smaller men uh, act more aggressively to make up for their lack of height. Yeah, I get that. I'm 6'5". I see the way short guys look at me. Why did I get all the height and they get all the not? You know, there was even that song, "Short people got no reason to live." Okay. It seems short men really do act more aggressively than their peers to make up for their small stature. Researchers used a money sharing conundrum dubbed the dictator game, which tests how fairly individuals treat others. It's typically consists of two individuals, with one given a quantity of money which they must offer a portion to a rival, even if the amount is zero. Ah. They found that smaller men responded more aggressively when competing in the psychological test, so long as there were no repercussions. So they'll do it as long as nothing happens to them. Scientists say this means the phenomenon known as short man syndrome or the Napoleon complex is real. Vladimir Putin, 5'5". That's all he is. 5'5". I'm 6'5". I tower over this guy, but he's a billionaire, right? And they flex their muscle through their money, through their military might. So I don't know, but we know short people have issues to begin with. Not short women, because that doesn't matter how tall women are. Men are the ones who measure things by their penis length or their height, whatever you got, whatever you got. However you define yourself, you know. But again, in history, we have one man calling the shots, and he's a little guy too. He's calling the shots, isn't he? And I watched the Pentagon spokesman run away in fear with his tail between his legs over Putin. And, so Poland had decided to give Ukraine a bunch of these old MiGs that they had, that the Ukrainian pilots actually know how to fly, right? And they were going to say, okay, we're going to fly them off to Germany, and then the Ukrainians can come and get them, or however they figured out how they were going to transport them back, and it is an airplane. So, and then now the United States like wigged out. First, the U.S. said, "Oh, we wouldn't stand in Poland's way in doing something like that." Then they did it because we didn't think that they were going to do it. This is the problem with lying and bluffing. You know, if it was me, enemy, because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you say, your enemy. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you tell them, because you just want to destroy them. It doesn't matter what they say, and the more in psychological warfare, the more crazy stuff you say, the more they have to analyze it. Don't you know every sentence that this guy Putin says? You have teams and teams and teams of people in all kinds of agencies analyzing everything he's saying, his facial movements, his eyes, his hands, what he was doing, and this dude knows that. He knows how to play them. He's a master at it. He was KGB, then FSB. This guy knows what he's doing. You know, it's these people because they're not real. They're not real. And they feel what they say. So if you're a real person, like now with Trump, when Trump was in there, and you know me, if you listen to the show, I don't say a lot of great stuff about Trump. I know he accomplished a lot of things, but I don't say a lot of great. I just don't like him, me personally. But Trump is crazier than Putin. And crazy seldom takes on crazier. With that dude, if Putin said to you, yeah, I'll use nukes, Trump be like, go ahead, we will too. As a matter of fact, I got your palace in my sights right now. While he's drinking his Diet Coke, eating a steak with ketchup on it. When we attacked Syria, Trump was having a big dinner with Xi Jinping there. He comes back to the table, sits down, says to Xi Jinping, "Hey, we just bombed the runways in Syria. How's the cake, buddy? This Black Forest chocolate cake. That's good. Now that's crazy. Now that's crazy. I could do that myself. How was it?" We just blew some stuff up. How was the cake? Do you like it? Do you want any more? We got some more out back. So anyway, everybody's afraid. People on the coast of the United States is afraid. If I was Putin, I'd be sending ships to Cuba. You know, I'd have my submarines there. I'd have ships there. I'd rattle people's brains and rattle their bones. And that's easy to do because Americans have cushy lives. We do. I mean, even the crappiest lives of people in America are better than some of the good lives in people in other countries. Hate to say. I know welfare people that have everything paid for and they have widescreen TVs and everything to boot, plus money to spend, and a cell phone paid for by the government. So yeah, there are people in other countries that don't even have that, and they're supposedly doing well. So I think that at the end of the day, this whole thing has to play itself out. I think that Putin would use a tactical nuke. You know, I would say that there's so many studies that have been done by governmental sources saying that the U.S. could survive a nuclear war with Russia, and I mean, there's a whole bunch of stuff that these guys will use that data and point to it in times like this, and it gets even crazier when you're dealing with certain people. But this war is with the U.S. Putin's trying to draw us in. He knows by killing women and children, slaughtering people like that, animals, old people's pets, whatever, you don't care, is motivating the American people. It's motivating people around the world. It's motivating India. India's got the largest army in the world, and they also have a lot of technology. You can't discount India. I mean, and they're our friends. You know what I mean? But China's not. China's friend to no one, and China's relationship with Russia is tenuous, but in a time of war, if they join forces, I think that they could possibly win and be the world power. But they don't understand. See, now this is the problem with China and Russia. Their governments are entirely comprised of robot sycophants, right? No one's going to tell Xi Jinping the truth about anything because they'll get their heads chopped off if he hears anything negative. Same thing for Putin. So for years, these guys think that their forces are all pumped up and they're practically invincible, and the only real deterrent keeping country up from country, all those nuclear warheads, right? So it really comes down to them not understanding the strategic capability of the United States. Now, we have bases all over the world. At every milk and cranny, we have a base. All those bases have planes, B 2 bombers, munitions, even nuclear warheads, a lot of them, right? We are in 3 to 5 minute strike time from any city on the planet. We can have our B 2 bombers floating up there, flying around. They can fly around for days. They could be refueled in the air and keep flying around and drop bombs and keep dropping bombs. Stealth, you wouldn't even know where the hell they are. And so then Putin's like, well, people are like, well, he's got the fast missile. You know, we have lasers. I mean, it really comes down to your readiness and your willingness to engage. So now they're saying, he was going to use chemical weapons. I expect him to do the worst. Do I expect him? Do you think that he would use tactical nukes in the Ukraine? If he doesn't care about the land, he would. But also, he doesn't want radiation in his own face because Russia is right there. If he nukes somebody with a tactical nuke, it's not going to be near Russia, and it's not going to be near China. It's going to be somewhere else, like France. I mean, and I'm saying that seriously. There's a place in my head, like my mind's eye, that I see this happening. So, would the world react and nuke Russia? I mean, then you're taking out a lot of Russian people, right? Who basically are innocent. They're not backing him with his nonsense. But his strategy right now is to annihilate until the U.S. gets involved to the point where he can claim that that was the provocation, and then now it's on. But what have you learned from war, Dorothy? He's learned that Russia doesn't have a seasoned military. His soldiers, a lot of them ran off crying, wanting their moms. They put that on the news. They were happy to put that out there. These aren't seasoned combat soldiers. He's recruiting mercenaries from Syria to do city fighting because Putin's soldiers are just basic old uneducated Russians who just are sold on. I mean, a lot of them saying that they were duped, that they didn't know what was going on there and whatever. So yeah, there's that going on, and that information travels fast. He's blocked out social media. He's told the media news outlets there, if they report what's going on, they'll all be executed. So he's trying to draw us in. He even said that the sanctions now are a provocation, a sanctions, where we already put these sanctions on when this whole thing started. It took Biden a while to do it, right? A provocation. So my prediction is not a healthy one. And it's more about where you see yourself. World events, you're not going to change them. The only thing you could do is be happy unto yourself in your own life. Keep people around who are good people, who aren't toxic, who are loving and caring and supportive, and be there for them, and be the tree in the flood with deep roots. This is going to be a crazy ride. I said this at the beginning of the year. I said this at the beginning of back in 2019 on New Year's Eve when I did a show. What stuff that was coming. And this goes from right there into the COVID, into this war. COVID's not over yet. There's a new strain. It's already responsible for 12% of all new infections, and it's starting to sweep the country. Look at Hong Kong and other places that are completely locked down. They don't know what to do. Their hospitals are packed full. People are dying. They got mass graves going on, but you still have the war, and then there's going to be some natural disasters. So that's the chunky part of the show. The reason why I like talking about these Hollywood idiots is because it's bubblegum for my brain. I don't know these people. I don't know their lives. I just know that they're on my computer in front of my face, and I just have to delve in and understand. And they all have, see, all humans, no matter how rich they are, no matter how poor they are, all people have the same interests as sex and money and everything else that goes with it. Desire, right? How people find themselves. They choose they choose that path. Anyway, devastated. Jake Paul, whoever that is, has split from Instagram model Julia Rose, whoever that is. So automatically, I'm looking at this dude. I just talked about Tom Hanks' son last week, who was bitching because his daddy wasn't around, and he had all these tattoos also, like worked out, whatever. This guy's got the tattoos. I don't know. They're kind of tattooy. To each his own. And the girl's kind of cute looking. She got a nice whatever, and sure she got a tattoo. They always tattoo these things. Like girls in school used to like write on themselves with pens, and I'm like, ugh. And now they do it with tattoos, and it's even worse because it's not something you can get rid of so easily. So, social media superstar Jake Paul has split with his Instagram model girlfriend Julia Rose. See, the social media has created stars, and it's funny because it's so hideous. It's just a manufacturing this popular device that people can like or unlike or whatever. And usually, like the worst possible people will rise to the top because they're the lives that people want to look at because people's lives are so boring in themselves. And you think these guys have an interesting life. I know a lot of these Instagram girls pimp themselves out to rich Arabs in Dubai. They fly them out there, 30, 40,000 for a weekend, and these guys do whatever they want to do to them. So if you want to be, it's just prostitution, you know. And then you hear a lot of them say, "Well, at least I'm getting paid." Well, if that's your mentality, it's sad. It's sad, you know. So I like to think that people are better than what they are sometimes. That's one of my failings in life is that I try to see the good in people, you know. So anyway, let's see. This guy split with his girl. It turns out that the influencer turned boxer may have had both thoughts and feelings. There was much speculation that the pair was kaput last week when Paul tweeted, "Alexa, play 'I'm Single' by Jake Paul." He released a boldly terrible song of that name in 2019. I don't know who any of these people are. Who the hell is Jake Paul? Is that the guy I'm reading about? See? It is. That's how much I don't know. Play "I'm Single" by Jake Paul. I'm single. Oh my God. All right. But sources say Paul has been out and about in Miami telling pals he and Rose are in. He's devastated, said the inside. Look at this girl. Got her butt with both hands in some kind of. She's running around posing for the picture. Her whole life is the picture, is the influencer out there. I mean, these people. It's like the Kardashians. I mean, look how famous they got. And now they own clothing lines and makeup stuff and whatever they do. But they really got famous because Kim Kardashian was in a porno with a dude who was online. The guy shopped it around, made her famous. Isn't that weird? And they're really famous for nothing. I mean, the whole family, they're not talented people. They're not they're not anything. I mean, they're just whatever. They're very rich and powerful, disgustingly rich people for doing nothing, and that just shows you how life is. I mean, there's ambulance drivers out there right now saving someone's life, and they get crap wages. Then you get these people who are just crap people, and then look where they go, and then others follow them. others follow them. Other girls look at that. I want that life. Oh, they look at their boyfriend like he's a loser because he doesn't make any money. They want the guy. They want the life. They want a monkey branch up. It's called hypergamy, right? They want a monkey branch up and have the life. So let's see. But this guy said, what the hell am I even reading? I was watching him grab the girl's butt. He's been out and about telling his friends it's over. Oh yeah, that's what guys do. Oh, it's over, man. His he's moved on, but still in his heart, she was the one. There's never the one, dude. It might be the 44 or the 112. There's never the one. Yeah. They added, he would like to get back together with her, and maybe they will, but they both need to slow down in their lives. It's unclear how Rose will slow her life down, since if her Instagram is to be believed, she seems to be to alternate between doing nothing and doing nothing on the beach. Ouch. That's girls. Look at her. Oh my God. Look at that tan. She's going to have skin cancer soon. My God, man. Those are the ones you see women are like in their late 30s, early 40s, and their skin is completely destroyed from the sun. And these are the ones who are like at the beach all the time at the sun or got to go in a tanning machine. It just looks so unnatural. Natural is best, unnatural is not. But men love women more than women love men. Men love women for women. The women love men for what men can do for them. And that's really how it's always been. So the former Disney star, who's a Disney star, they're always messed up. You know that. That's all you have to hear. Disney star. They got a load of problems. Who is the brother of fellow social media juggernaut Logan Paul, whoever that is, started dating Rose a month or so after the end of his sham marriage to another social media star, Tana Mongeau. You may wonder why I'm reading this. I'm wondering it too. You know what? Because the ceremony was both aired as a $50 pay-per-view event and as part of Montague's MTV reality show. I'm saying, how can these people make money when they're so stupid? And how come smart people can't make money being so smart? It's just a shitty world, man. You know what? I don't like it. I want the kind of world where I can eat whatever I want to eat and lose weight. Oh, I just ate a cheesecake, man. Just lost another pound. you know, I don't like this world. So these crazy people who I don't even know. But all right, this one got the Willy Wonka up in me. And then we're going to talk about Ricky Schroeder, another child star from Silver Spoons. I never saw the show. Who lost his mind completely. Now he's screaming about wearing masks and God. In fact, he's berating state employees or federal employees, security guards screaming at them. That's when you know you've completely lost it. And I guess there's nobody around this dude who can stop it from happening. Let me read the story now since I've talked about it so much. Then we'll get on to my Willy Wonka. Sort of Willy Wonka. Former child star Ricky Schroeder has public meltdown over museum mask rule. And he made this video. He looks crazy. And he made this video of him like talking like, I can't believe what they did. Like he's berating this security guard. All right. Former child star Ricky Schroeder, last seen harassing Costco workers who asked him to wear a mask in the store, had another public meltdown over rules intended to help stop the spread of the coronavirus. So he started yelling at Costco people already. This time, Schroeder flipped out on security guards who asked him to wear a mask before entering the Dwight D. Eisenhower Presidential Library and Museum in Abilene, Kansas. Now, number one, who even goes there? You know what I mean? How many people are going to the Dwight D. Eisenhower Presidential Library Museum in Abilene, Kansas? I'm not going to get anything out of going to that place, man. The Bill Clinton Library? Yes, because there's loads of porno in there. But at the Dwight D. Eisenhower Presidential Library Museum in Abilene, Kansas, no. And Kansas is a very unfriendly state to begin with, so that's probably why it's there. So he's calling these guys Nazis. The federal guards that work there, minimum wage guards who have to listen to this nut, and even told him who he was. I'm Ricky Schroeder. So then he told them that they should only enforce God's law. God's law. Yeah, that goes long and far. The video shared on Instagram by Schroeder and on Twitter, which showed Schroeder berating the guards' evil federal government, right? He asked the guards, "That's your opinion, sir?" One of the guards replied, "That is my opinion," Schroeder said. "God's laws are higher than the federal government's, but you're going to enforce man's laws." I would have whipped out $1 and showed him on the back where it says, "In God we trust." Crumple it up and throw it at him. He probably needs it. It looks like he does. I don't think he's had any work in a long time. That silver spoon crap was a long time ago. After a brief exchange, he told the security guards they don't know God. You don't know God. He called them Nazis, stormed out. Anybody actually know what a Nazi is? I hear a lot of people calling people Nazis. I don't think they don't understand. I don't think they understand the word they're using. Let's see. He said, one of his clips, he said, "We're not going to live as slaves." All of this to the federal security guards that can change so much in the world. Schroeder made his name as a child actor in the 1980s sitcom Silver Spoon. As an adult, he is best known for 3 seasons on NYPD Blue. Well, what friggin' year was that? NYPD Blue. Let me look this up. That's a long time ago, man. Let me see some Ricky Schroeder. What the hell year was that? Oh, he looked kind of youngish. He was born in 1970. He looks pretty old. I don't know. Oh, 1998. Oh my God. Not even in this, this century. This dude, let's see, what's Ricky Schroeder's net worth, man? I'm just curious why he has so much free time hanging around yelling at security guards. It says his net worth is 25 million. Oh wait, that was a while ago. I think at this point he's unemployed. Yeah, he's unemployed. He hasn't done anything in a long time. Well, let's see. After a price cut, he sold his ranch for 27 million, and then had to pay off a lot of managers and whatever. So I don't know. This guy. Hey man, the guy's a nut, right? I think that's what we've determined from all of this. He's a freaking nut, and he's just off the wall. But when people start talking about God, I automatically know that they're off the deep end. You know what I mean? I think people acknowledge it. People know about it. The other day, someone even said to me, I was out and about in Pennsylvania, and they're like, have you heard of Jesus Christ? No, I'm 55 years old. I never heard the freaking words Jesus Christ. Do you think I live in a cave? Have you heard? Have you accepted Jesus in your heart? Yeah, I know when they're like that for a reason. You know what I mean? So then you always people, the day and age of internet, you get always people like attacking Ricky Schroeder now. One person saying this may be Ricky Schroeder's best dramatic role yet. All right. And wow, glad I never had a crush on Ricky Schroeder. Comparing basic health precaution to Nazism. Eisenhower would block Schroeder too. Yeah, if Eisenhower was there, he wouldn't let him in either. P.S. God's laws? Question mark. Newsflash has been. This is not a theocracy. You have the right to believe what you want, but not to try to make it federal law. Oh man, this woman was on it. He called the security guard a Nazi. What a tool. Wow, Ricky Schroeder is still that entitled little brat he played in Silver Spoons. They don't write roles for it. He was no actor. They just took his personality and wrote the thing around it. Let's see. This is a favorite one. There are grandmas in Ukraine making Molotov cocktails to fight off an invading army, and Ricky Schroeder wants you to know he won't be a slave to wearing a mask. No one's asking him to wear anymore. There you go. Wow. Anyway, it's a strange world. In the strange world, there are strange people that make up. And although, is it a strange world? I really have nothing to compare it to. But it keeps getting weirder every day. Like this. This reminded me of Willy Wonka. You know the part in Willy Wonka where the fat kid gets stuck in the tube because he's trying to like drink the chocolate, a little greedy fatty. So in this case, oh, this is funny. All right, woman, I can't. I'm watching the video of this woman getting trapped in a cruise ship water slide. So she gets trapped in a cruise ship water slide suspended over the ocean because cruise ships are keep getting bigger and bigger, and then this tube goes out there, and she's stuck. They should have just built up a lot of pressure behind her with soda water or something. Look, they got disco music playing in the background, and she's like stuck in the tube. And she's not like obese or anything. She's got a big booty. That Kim Kardashian, she wouldn't get through that tube, man. Just saying. Just my humble observation as as me. Let's see. Her ship her ship and slide experience went straight to hell. A female cruise ship passenger was left high but not dry after getting trapped on the attraction's massive water slide overlooking the ocean. A video of her unorthodox stranding at sea currently boasts over 15 million views. Yeah, because she's easy on the eyes, man. That's how shallow people are. Also, she got stuck in a tube. So when let's see, when the looping slide fails, read the caption of the clip. The maritime mishap reportedly occurred on the Norwegian cruise line Ocean Loops Slide, a closed tube double loop ride that sends sliders plummeting from the top of the deck, shooting out over the sea before curving back into the base like a watery roller coaster. See, that doesn't entice me. Does that entice you guys? I mean, is that something you really want to do? More power to you if that's the thing. Like being in a big sippy straw. I tend not to risk my life when it's unnecessary. If I'm trying to escape something, I'll jump into a tube. But other than that, no. The clip starts off innocuously enough with the unnamed female rider sliding down the first two portions and up again to the final turn. Unfortunately, the slider doesn't seem to gain enough momentum to go through the corkscrew and plunges backward, whereupon she gets trapped in a transparent section of the attraction, suspended terrifyingly over the sea. Yeah, probably some shark out there. I'm gonna eat her, man. Well, I'm watching this and it's happened and they're in dock. So and she ain't gonna fall in the water. Looks like this one picture she's like using her cell phone. Hello, I'm stuck in a tube, man. Come get me. The footage should be on YouTube, or like or Instagram. Look at me in a tube, man. The footage ends with the stranded rider seemingly trying to scoot back to the starting point where fellow passengers look on in shock. Viewers were horrified by the fiasco and also wondering when the suspense was going to end, like in Willy Wonka. Oh, the suspense. I hope it'll last. I love it. Love it. Let's see. This seemed to combine claustrophobia and the fear of heights. Oh, and the fear of drowning. Don't forget, don't forget that. Plus, being embarrassed in front of the world. I'm having trouble breathing just watching this, wrote one aghast gawker. It's because people are entropy fans. Remember, I talked about that last week? People love this stuff, man. That's why these things are so famous, social media, because they want to see what stupid things people do. Another one commented, "Oh my God, my biggest fear is unlocked." If your biggest fear is to get stuck in a tube on a cruise ship, then you have a great life. You know what I mean? You have a great freaking life. You got nothing to worry about. Just stay off cruise ships. So let's see. Just people saying stupid things. Thankfully, she was able to exit the slide without intervention from emergency services. The lady was not stuck in the water slide for long. The user behind YMG uh, travels TikTok account, blah blah blah. Blah. There's a side door for the slide, and she was out immediately. The TikToker also said the turn of events was so quick by the time that she walked away, she was out and ready to do the slide again. That's funny as hell, man. I just thought of Willy Wonka when I saw this woman stuck in the tube. You know, all these weird things are like happening. Like movies have a weird thing about like having things come true. Even TV shows like The Simpsons. Yeah, The Simpsons. Let's see. Can we talk about? Let's talk about Kanye. We haven't talked about Kanye in a while. There's a lot of stuff going on with Kanye. It's hard to keep up with it, but this one got me because it's more from Gene Simmons' perspective. So Gene Simmons, artist, musician from Kiss, right? Calls Kanye an asshole and needs a good bitch slap. Ooh, bitch slap. See, more violence, man. You know what I mean? Violence begots violence. Let's see. Sleep with one eye open, ye. That's Kanye's new word, ye. His new name. Gene Simmons said Kanye West could use a good bitch slap. So he realizes he is being an a-hole to Kim Kardashian and Pete Davidson. At a certain point, if anybody misbehaves, a good bitch slap works. The Kiss front man, 72 years old. See, the problem is he's 72. You bitch slap someone these days, yeah, it's an assault charge, man. You end up in jail. You can't do anything to anybody anymore, as a matter of fact. Yeah, you can't even defend yourself against people anymore. You kind of gotta be like punching somebody in the dark. They don't know who did it. you know, that's all. All right, and then the rapper, of course. I hate that they call him a rapper because I don't see him like that. I just see him as a Hollywood piranha. You know what I mean? So he's targeting his ex-wife and her new beau. But of course, these are the headlines that have been generated just from their tete-a-tete. You don't think they love it? You don't think they're making tons of money off of it? You don't think that the money's pouring in their bank accounts? They're probably all three of them laughing their ass off. Pete Davidson, Kanye, and Kim. I guarantee it. Do you think this is any part of this is real? You're sadly mistaken if you do. So, so you said, "Oh, sorry, I didn't realize I was such an a-hole." Kanye. While the rock star made sure to note that he thinks the Donda artist is a talented guy. He's talented, but I'd bitch slap him. At least Kanye didn't have to put makeup on, you know, and go out dressed like Frankenstein or whatever, some freak to sell albums. Hmm. Yes, I said it. So I was never a Kiss fan. So I know a lot of people are die hard, die hard. I ain't me. So I just like good music, man. ACDC, good music, great music, as a matter of fact. All right, Kanye is crazy. Let's see, it's serious stuff. This is your wife, the mother of your children. He continues, not childish. There's something clinically wrong with him. He admitted it. It's a psychological problem. So point me a human that doesn't have some psychological problem. You know what I mean? West revealed that in 2018 that he had been diagnosed with bipolar disorder by putting the phrase "I hate being bipolar. It's awesome." All the time, when I talk to, and I probably shouldn't do this. I realize that it's not a diss to people with disabilities or any kind of issues. It's more of just me poking fun of myself. So when I tell people that my Asperger's is kicking in, or I have a bout with Tourette's and I curse people out, like, or stuff like my OCD's kicking in, I don't have any of that that I know of. I have never been diagnosed for any of that, we'll say. So that's my thing. But yeah, I probably shouldn't say it, but it sounds funny anyway. All right. So Gene Simmons says, "Love your kids, love your mother, your kids, blah blah blah." Gene Simmons has too much free time. When he's 72 years old, he's angry. He wants to bitch slap people. Bitch, doesn't even know what that means. I don't know. Let's see. All right, enough of this crap. Enough of this crap. Crap. Last but not least, in the last 5 minutes, there's a woman who went nuts, pulled a gun on another driver because they had a vaccinated sticker. That's nice. She's a freak. I almost had someone try to run me off the road today. Some crazy woman in a big ass truck with giant tires. You know, you're poking the wrong dragon. You know what I mean? Like, I'm cool on the road. I just kind of scooted over, but man, you're gonna catch a dude on the wrong day. That's what I'm saying. You're out there like that, you're gonna catch someone on the wrong day one day. So, and people too, right? So, with the war in Ukraine, I just kind of want to also mention the tens of thousands of deaths in the sub-Saharan conflicts in Africa. A year, not just the soldiers getting killed. A lot of them are kids. They put AK-47 in their hands and go run and kill them. These wars affect these villages, and children die. And they projected that of the last 20 years, over 20 million children have died in these conflicts. When you think about these things and you think about war in general, and people getting on their soapbox with all kinds of stuff, you understand that there's evil in the world, and that evil, you want to be able to stop it. And it's a test. This is a test. People need to stand against tyranny. They need to stand against uh, this carnage and death of innocent life. There is no lower than people that would bomb hospitals with sick children waiting cancer treatments, as if their life isn't so terrible to begin with. Then all of a sudden, here you have some asshole drop bombs because of his political positioning. So this is the time where people need to make that stand, and you can't be afraid when the bully says, "I'm going to nuke you." You have to be able to be ready, because if you let him do it, he's going to keep doing it. It's going to keep going, you know. So this is the thing. If you don't think Putin wants all those countries back that the Soviet Union lost, that were never theirs to begin with, you don't know Putin. But this is his attack against America. This is his attack against NATO. Already, I see people in NATO running the other way, and I see people in our own government doing the same. We've already lost if that's where their mentality is. So we'll see what happens, right? We'll definitely see what happens. Anyway, I think I'm going to end it there, because that's pretty much what we got at the end of the show. Although there is a Texas candidate that's posing nearly nude on top of an oil pump. That's politics in Texas. What's this? What the hell is her name? Here we go. Sarah Stogner, 37 years old, sitting up top, of oh my god, on top of a, yeah. I don't think it's going to get her any votes, man. I think it's going to lose her votes if anything, sitting on top of oil rig, topless. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. What is it with people? what is it with people? So anyway, I'm going to end the show on that note. I'm going to see you guys on the Red Pill News next week if we're all still here. Have a lovely time of a week. Stay safe and watch out for the freaks out there. You know, with COVID going into war, people are losing it, man. I'm reading the news in different places. People stabbing their families, shooting each other, shooting at schools, shooting at malls and whatever. Just so much of it. So just be safe. When in doubt, get out. You know? Anyway, I'll see you guys next week on this show. Bye.